Come on, Team Cowboys!
Angry Cowboys Fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys Fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboy Nation and Angry Cowboy fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, bringing that raw and uncut about our Dallas Cowboys. So if you're DC for life and want to help the channel grow even more, drop a like on this video, share this content, and please subscribe to the channel. Yep, you read the title correctly, Cowboys Nation. Should the Dallas Cowboys trade the Lion, Micah Parsons? As Cowboys Nation is aware, Micah Parsons and C.J. Stroud was on a worldwide tour for the NFL. While the Dallas Cowboys started volunteer workouts, Micah Parsons was overseas, sumo wrestling. While the rookies were being introduced to the team and some of the veterans, Micah Parsons was playing flag football in Beijing. Is Micah too much for the Dallas Cowboys front office to handle? Then we finally get to see the interview of Micah Parsons where he spoke about missing volunteer workouts. He spoke about his communication with Mike Zimmer this offseason. It was a pretty deep dive into his reasoning, and we're going to take a listen to the few clips that I got for you. Then you know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's go ahead and listen to the first clip that I got for you.
About this is the way you should do it or not do it. Like, do you have mentors that you've sort of said, what should I be doing with my body? Like, where does this come from?
Well, understanding the business side of it too. You know, your body, this is all I have. This is all I have to offer the Cowboys. You know, before you sign a contract, you go through a physical. Before you do anything, before you're even on a team, you gotta go through a physical. Like, this is your this is your engine. Like, this is where all my equity lies. I have no equity outside of this to offer them. So at the end, you gotta understand, availability is the best ability. And if I'm not available when it really matters because I'm banged up or my body's not healing properly or I didn't get all the rehab and treatment that I need to be successful, then, that's on me. It's not on them. They're just find the next me, so.
Damn, they'll find the next me. Woo! Those are some powerful words, Cowboys Nation. He spoke about his body being the meal ticket, and he is absolutely correct about that. If something would have happened to him and he couldn't take the field, where would he, or any player for that matter, where would their stock drop to? You kind of see that with Stephon Gilmore and that shoulder injury. You are only as good to your team as you are to your body. You gotta take care of it. In the next clip that I got for you, Micah Parsons is asked if this offseason has been a disappointment. I honestly appreciate the answer that Micah Parsons gave. So let's go ahead and take a listen, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
Does it disappoint you at all that the team hasn't done more this offseason? You mentioned on your podcast after the season ended about being all in and making all these big moves. Does that disappoint you at all?
It doesn't disappoint me. If you kind of figure out how the money goes and how the contract goes, you kind of understand that business side. I think CD takes up the value of 2 or 3 players. You're talking about $30+ million a year. That's 2 or 3 guys. So if you do that, how can you afford to pay CD Lamb? And that goes on for other guys potentially. So I think the mindset I have is we have 7 All-Pros, or however the count may be. It might be more, it might be less. Or we got at least 3 guys that I know can be All-Pro. I think Ferguson could be an All-Pro guy. I think a lot of guys are gonna have breakout years. So. I think that plays a count to it too. Tyler Smith, I think he'll be first-team All-Pro this year, and you got to think about him towards the future. So when you talk about all these guys, it just leads to say, hey, when are the other guys going to step up and be better for the team?
Micah Parsons spoke about the players on the team being All-Pro, the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have 8 All-Pros. But when will the other players step up and play to that All-Pro level? I'm going to speak more about that during my raw and uncut portion, so make sure you stick around for that. In the last clip that I got for you, It's the clip of the infamous clip heard round the internet of Micah Parsons' take on Mike Zimmer. So we're going to take a listen to that, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's go ahead and take a listen.
Honestly, man, me and Zim probably said a total of 20 words to each other.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a very quiet person, and all I keep hearing from the coaches is like, Zim likes it this way. I was like, well, I like it this way, like, you know, so I can't wait to have, like, my true, like, sit down with him. I think it'll be pretty cool because, obviously, old school mindset, old school mentality. But, you know, I think he has a lot of great players, but he ain't never had a Micah before, so it'll be fun, and I think it's going to be unique. There's a lot of similarities on things, how he used me with how Dan used me in the system, but he has more twists and turns of how he's going to set things up. And also, there's some things that I got to get used to, too. You know, it's going to be a compromisable relationship. There's going to be things he's like, I'm not going to give on, I don't give on. That's a part of the whole regime, you know?
Cowboys Nation, do you see how the media can take a couple of sound bites and use them to paint a player in a bad light? If you would have left it to just the reporting, you wouldn't have heard the tone of voice that he had and how to correctly interpret what Micah said. But y'all ready for my raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. This video has answered two questions that I had when it came to Micah Parsons. The first question being, is he a leader of this team? And the second question being, should the Dallas Cowboys consider trading Micah Parsons? So let's go ahead and get with the first question. Cowboys Nation, in that second clip that I played for y'all, Micah Parsons talked about who he feels should step up to an all-pro level with the likes of Dak Prescott, himself, Deron Bland, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, Brendan Aubrey, CeeDee Lamb, and Brian Anger. When are the other guys going to step up for this team? That's the type of question that I have, and I continue to have, while other people just blame one person, the quarterback. When will the other players on this team match the level of the all-pros that you have on this team and the level of play they're putting out? If you can't, why are you even here? You are the fat that needs to be trimmed off. You want the best of the best in each position that you have on your team. You can't have 8 all-pros and the rest just be mid. They all have to step their game up as well. It doesn't just fall on the quarterback's shoulders to make them better. It falls on the individual player's shoulders. With that being said, it also takes a leader to pull that level of play out of another player. A level of ability they may not know they possess. For those who lift weights, that last rep seems impossible as you try pushing it up. But the motivation from your spotter gives you enough to put that bar back on the racks. Hypothetical situation, the game is tied in overtime with seconds on the clock. 4th and goal with the ball spotted on the 4-yard line. It takes a leader to lead his defense and become that wall to stop the touchdown. That leader asking the men whom he shares that field with to dig deep and find the strength to hold off that offense just one more time. Is Micah Parsons that leader? So, with Micah Parsons asking when will the other players step it up, that proves to me that he is not yet a leader of this team. He has more growing to do as a person given the opportunity to be the face of this franchise, to understand the power of his actions and how they can be followed or interpreted. Everyone's not built to be a leader though, but the ones who are and don't, that's the true injustice. As far as him not being at volunteer camp, I am happy that he's spreading the message of football around the world to different places that may not be hip to the sport. I have nothing against him going overseas and representing the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, as well as his own brand. At the end of the day, he's spreading the overall culture of the NFL and bringing home some culture for himself. As long as he keeps up with himself, that's the only thing that really matters to me as a Cowboys fan. Also, going up against a sumo wrestler is great practice with these big-ass offensive linemen you're going to be facing. Just think of Rocky IV. Ivan Drago working out in this high-tech facility while Rocky trained using the elements and what he had available to him. That's how I see Micah Parsons handling his conditioning while not being at volunteer workouts. Now on to the second question that I had. Should the Dallas Cowboys consider trading Micah Parsons? Let me go ahead and get this out the way. Personally, hell no. You don't trade a dog like Micah Parsons because that man is a true talent. He is a beast. Definitely a piece that you want to build your defense around. He may be a little rough around the edges and he may be a little opinionated at times. And I feel that is going to be a little deterrent between him and Jerry Jones because you know Micah Parsons demands that spotlight, but so does Jerry Jones. I feel Micah Parsons has a lot to offer the Dallas Cowboys and could potentially become a leader of this organization. He's very versatile. He's a very versatile player. His speed is incredible. His burst is amazing. His closing speed is lightning fast. He is the complete player you need on your organization. Kind of like that friend who knows how to fight and it's better to have him as a friend than it is an enemy. That's Micah Parsons. I also hate how this interview was represented in the media, as if Micah Parsons is being this defiant player and all. Was the opportunity missed, as Mike McCarthy would suggest? Yes, there was an opportunity missed, but I don't feel it was the opportunity that the media has made it out to be. Camaraderie is established at camp, but it's not the only place that players establish camaraderie. They do it on their own time as well, Cowboys Nation. And also, that clip that everyone's talking about, to me, that sounded like a collaborative mind that is eager to get with his coach and see what they come up with. Micah said Zim has never had a Micah Parsons, but he has had a Deion Sanders, so he is knowledgeable on how to handle great talent. I feel Mike Zimmer will turn Micah onto some schemes that are right up his alley, and Micah will make Mike Zimmer a better defensive coordinator for it. I see their collaboration that of a dominant one. Even though the Dallas Cowboys could get a small ransom for Micah Parsons, I feel it would be yet another dereliction of duty if the Dallas Cowboys front office were to even consider trading him at this moment. I don't feel his contract is one we should even be considering right now. He has one more year to play, and then we can talk about extending him. Play this year out and get your bag next year. Also, during that time, figure out how you can truly be a leader to this football team. To be a leader takes sacrifice, sacrificing your mind and body for the betterment of the team. Iron sharpens iron, Micah Parsons. But when that other piece of iron is missing, that second piece remains dull. Think about it. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan. What did you think about what Micah Parsons had to say during the interview? Do you feel he is a leader of this team currently? Let's have an adult conversation in the comment section. If you're digging the content and want to get it out to even more Dallas Cowboy fans, drop a like on the video and share this content with your friends who are Cowboys fans. If you are DC for life and want to help the channel reach its goal of 10,000 subscribers before the start of the regular season, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I go live, release a video, or a podcast episode. Let's not talk about trading away our great players anymore, Cowboys Nation. Let's start talking about how we can get our great players financially secured so we can make a legitimate run at a Super Bowl. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out.